Hello, I'm Dr. Archer Crosley, and welcome to Real World Pediatrics. So, today I want to talk about autism again, specifically with regard to RFK and Donald Trump's announcement implying that Tylenol is the cause of autism. Well, to begin with, this is not what the researchers are saying. It's important to know this. What they're saying is that there is an association between Tylenol and autism. This is not the same thing as a cause. Let me try to give an example. Let's look at the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Now, we know that there were many people in or near Dealey Plaza that day, and many of them were accused of killing the president. Lyndon Johnson was there. Does this mean that Lyndon Johnson shot John Kennedy or was behind it? No. They are associated by virtue of both being there, but there has never been shown to be a direct causal linkage, despite the outrageous claims by some that LBJ killed Kennedy. Now, I certainly benefited from the assassination, but that's not the same thing. There were also many, many, many other people there in Dealey Plaza who have been accused of killing John Kennedy. Did they do it? Well, it's impossible for all of them to have done it. Some of them have to be innocent. What RFK is doing regarding autism is pretty much the same thing. He has accused everyone and everything under the sun. He has accused many individual vaccines, the combination of vaccines, the timing of the vaccines, aluminum, mercury, and now Tylenol. Okay, so what's next? Chocolate chip cookies? Vanilla ice cream? Now, in trying to figure out what the cause is for autism, we turn to epidemiologists. In many respects, an epidemiologist is a detective. He thinks like a detective. He follows similar principles. And when it comes to detective work, detectives usually do not unfairly target people because they happen to be in the same place at the same time as the person who died. You need more than that, or else you'll go after innocent people. It's the same with Tylenol and autism. Just because two things are found together doesn't mean that one causes the other. Now, with regard to autism and Tylenol, let's ask ourselves why these women were taking Tylenol in the first place. Well, many probably had a fever. Infections cause fever, thus the Tylenol. Well, maybe it was the infection itself that caused the autism. Or perhaps it was the fever itself, or any other number of chemical mediators that infections and the body's immune system produce. Or perhaps these women took another medicine at the same time that caused the autism. Maybe it wasn't the Tylenol at all. What we believe about autism today is that it is probably caused by a change in the development of the brain cells and or the synapses at the cellular level through a complex interplay between a person's genetics and an environmental or biological influence. This environmental or biological influence could be anything. It could be a virus that was causing the development of the fetus's brain to go astray. It could be another chemical in the environment. Now, at this point, scientists are trying to study autism to see what the cause might be. Now, recently, the Icahn School of Medicine, in collaboration with the University of California, Los Angeles, University of Massachusetts, Lowell, and Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, put out a paper stating that there might be a causal link between Tylenol during pregnancy and autism. Might. Their own paper stated that they could not prove causation. It's also important to note that this paper was not an actual study of patients, but instead a review, an analysis, and a grading of existing studies and expert opinion regarding autism using a methodology entitled Navigation Guide Methodology. This is the first time this methodology has been employed. To be fair, the methodology seems 100% reasonable and rational. It was developed so that we could more rapidly identify potential toxins or chemicals that might be causing diseases such as autism. It was developed because there was a disconnect between what experts were delivering to their colleagues and patients and what the actual raw data was stating. In the final analysis, though, it is still human beings who are making the call as to whether there's a connection or not. And that might be a problem because we human beings are imperfect creatures who make assessments for any variety of reasons, not necessarily good ones. Therefore, all scientific studies, including this one, must be verified and duplicated. Just because one or two studies say something, that doesn't mean it's the truth. The fairest thing to say at this point is that there is no direct causation between Tylenol and autism. Okay, so then why did Donald Trump and RFK make this statement? Well, politics is its own world, and it often has nothing to do with science. Politicians live in a different world and have different goals for saying the things they do. And it's often difficult for lay people and scientists to understand why they say the things they do. But, they have their reasons. And unfortunately, we live in a world where politics trumps science. And that's not a pun. So it really doesn't matter what we scientists think in the short run because politics rules. This is the way it was back in the 1500s and 1600s when Copernicus and Galileo were talking about the sun being the center of our solar system. And it's the way it is now. But that doesn't change real scientific truth. And right now, scientific truth cannot show a causal link between Tylenol and autism. But who knows what the future will bring? Maybe Robert Kennedy will be right. And to tell you the truth, I would have no problem with him being right, because if he is right and the rate of autism drops, that will be a great thing. Okay, finally, here's a direct quote from Dr. Zan Liu from the Yale School of Public Health. He is an associate professor of epidemiology, and this is from 9/23/25, just a few days ago. And the question was posed to him, does acetaminophen use during pregnancy cause autism? We do not know yet for sure whether acetaminophen causes autism. Multiple observational studies conducted across different populations have shown associations between frequent and long-term use of acetaminophen in pregnancy and some negative effects on a child's neurodevelopment. However, not all studies are specific about autism. Further, there might be other factors related to acetaminophen use, such as fevers. Genetics and other medical conditions also need to be considered.